Let's loose. So, marketing. Now there's a subject. And it's huge, and it can be overwhelming because it will be branding, logo, advertising, business cards, press ads, websites, social media. It can be overwhelming. It can be overwhelming. And that was I'm a marketer. That was my career, that was my job for 15 plus years actually, or still is actually, because I have to market myself, which is wonderful. And what I can tell you is that my view now is of previously mega budgets, multimedia campaigns, strategy, me, no budget, no third-party agencies, customer engagement teams, creative teams, no. So where on earth do you start? I was reminded of something this morning. This is why the whole process is such a journey, because you just learn along the way, and that's how it is, and be okay with that. At the very beginning, and because of where I worked, I was speaking to one of the guys in creative. He was helping me. He was going to help me with my branding. And we were having lots of conversations around what it is I actually do. And he'd say in his amazing accent, he's like, "But Lucy, you don't just make cake, you're inspiring joy." Sorry, Renata, that's appalling accent. Apologies, but it was so inspiring and so helpful. And what we started with, these conversations, I was like, I just want a logo. No, a logo is part of your branding. It's a visual that connects people to you, but your brand is people's perception of you, and that comes in many forms. But here's the real beauty about working for yourself versus huge global organisation. You are your brand, so therefore you know it. You're already a head start because your brand is you, your personality, your thoughts, your feelings, why you set out to do what you wanted to do, and you know that. The key, I suppose, and here is my recommendation, it's merely a suggestion and it worked for me because I went back to it today. Last year I started putting together a brand book, which might sound but it made me sit down and think about my story, why I wanted to do what I did. In fact, I went back to when I was little and the things that I used to do and what inspired me, and all of a sudden I'd forgotten all of that stuff, and then years later remembered I loved making cakes for people, I loved giving, sharing the joy. That was my intention. So I built out this story, and if asked, it's so close to my heart, I can recount it. So I knew where I had been, I know where I am now, I know where I'm wanting to head. I've thought about the people that I'm making for. Do anyone actually need and want what I'm providing? And who are they? In fact, Seth Godin will always talk about finding your smallest possible audience. Do something remarkable. Don't do something for everybody, because by doing that, you're trying to meet everyone's expectations, which ends up in something average. Be remarkable. Find your smallest possible audience. Be really clear on your product. Obviously, I make it, so I know what goes into it. And I know the intention behind that. The cakes I make are designed to be amazing. But it all links back to my purpose of sharing joy, because I know, and I've seen people send me videos when somebody's ordered a cake from me and then they take it and give it to the person, and I see them go, flash, 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 oh my gosh, love in the centre of the universe. It's amazing. So then, my brand and personality, what does that look like? What does that feel like? I went through an exercise of trying to, for example, if I had to replicate me, what are the main traits? And I think I had enthusiastic, friendly, caring, and I can't remember what the other one was. And then I found sort of visuals or words to demonstrate what those were. So in terms of enthusiastic, I'm not like this! Sometimes I am. I'm also not like this. I'm so excited to be here. I'm kind of like this, a middle ground of enthusiasm. And that's just my personality. See, when we're talking about brand, it is you. But it's useful to write this stuff down. Friendly. Yeah, I'm friendly. I'm not going to run up and give everyone a hug and kiss them. And I'm not going to be like, oh, how do you do? I'm friendly. It's how I am. I can't change, so that's it. What you see is what you get with my brand. But again, I've written it down. So then how does that translate into a brand identity, your branding, your business cards, your website, whatever else collateral you have? What does that look like? And I got so bogged down. I thought, because of the job I'm in, I wanted a creative agency, I wanted branding and logos and colour palettes and fonts. I can't afford that. Not even close. There's a reason why. These people in creative agencies are it's very, very skilled, very, very talented. I don't have the budget or the audience at the moment to have that. But, so here's the thing, consistency. I heard this actually from the managing director of one of the local agencies. He was like, if you're going to use Times New Roman font, use it all the time. Use Times New Roman font. If you're going to be pink all the time. Because you'll see things go, I really love that. Oh, I really love that. And then you'll end up with a mishmash. You'll put something out on Facebook with, one thing and something out on Facebook with and it doesn't, there's no consistency. So then when somebody sees, pink, there are ways to ripple out your brand. It doesn't just exist on printed stuff or website. When people see pink, Bake with Loose. Now the logo is a part of that, but your logo is not your brand. It's merely a shortcut. And you can spend, the thing I learnt with logos, and there are probably creatives sat there going, oh my God, Luz, shut up. There's a rule, KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. Now all the great logos out there, do you know the tick for the trainers? Instantly recognisable. When somebody created and designed that logo, did they know it would be as recognisable as it is today? It's not because of the logo. That's the kind of, that's the brand. But the reason why you buy those trainers, or they've gone into snowboard stuff now, or why you wear their kit to the gym, is because they put across a feeling that you think represents you. It's why people of a certain motorcycle brand get them tattooed on themselves. It's not like you're even wearing the colours or the shirt. It's on your skin. You're part of a club. That sort of transcends any brand, because it's just people feel such an affinity towards whatever your brand is representing. So logos, keep it simple. No one ever set out, in fact, I saw something on Twitter which made me chuckle. You ever watch Friends? Very, very famous. Their logo, the words with the dots, the coloured dots in between, iconic. And this is purely anecdotal and I purely speculate, but it didn't take somebody very long to knock that up, because they did a pilot and it went out, and momentum, and it meant, they did another show or something or other. But somebody, and I might be wrong, didn't spend that long on it. Did it matter? No, because the brand around Friends transcended that. It got bigger. So in my experience, so my brand is pink. It's Bake with Loose. I can tell you the story of where the name came from. People actually know or are looking up on Facebook for me. My tone is never going to be very serious because that doesn't fit with my personality. If I'm printing business cards, they'll be pink. If I'm designing a website, it will be pink. It will be in the same font, so there's consistency. And that, my friends, is potentially where to start. And so this morning, I built out my brand book about a year ago, and I sort of dabbled back and forth, and I spent a long time thinking about it. And in fact, I went to it this morning. I went, oh my gosh, I was updating my website yesterday with the section about me, and I sort of struggled a little bit because I was on doing the technical thing didn't really come that easily. I've learned how to use templates on website builders, but yeah, it wasn't coming naturally. But when I went back to my brand book this morning, because I'd sat and I'd thought about it and I'd articulated it so beautifully, actually, well done, Lise. But I now have gone back to that and gone, oh yes, I'd forgotten that little snippet. So I can now take that from my brand book and translate that onto my website. Wonderful. So before you're thinking about which channels to use, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, I would start with a brand book. Write it down because it is worthy of your time to think about that stuff and record it so that a year down the line or whenever you can go back and go, oh, God, yeah, I love that. I'm glad I spent the time to do that. And then you've always got something to come back to because you will get ideas. Oh, I want to do this and I want to do tutorials and I want to go and teach and I want to go do that. Luce, you started wanting to share joy through cake. So get that off the ground first. Other things will come. Trust the process, breathe, enjoy it. Anyway, you can find templates on the internet for a brand book, and you don't have to. I found it particularly useful. I'm very grateful to my friend that had those conversations with me. Many conversations actually around what it was I was actually doing and how my personality, my brand, what that might look like. So, you're welcome.